It's qualifying time at Spa, one of the mightiest tracks on the Formula One calendar. Long straights, up and downhill, Eau Rouge as well. This track isn't for the faint-hearted. And I'm here, of course, with Anthony Davidson on what has turned out to be a very pleasant day indeed. No weather to interfere, no problems on the track, so absolutely no room for error.
That's right, Crofty. It's looking good out there at the moment. Each team will have their own game plan for this session, and of course, once the cars leave the garage, they'll be under parc fermé conditions, so any last-minute adjustments need to be done right here and now. Beyond that, it's all up to the driver. Who can keep their tyres in the right temperature? Who can hit their apexes? No race fuel on board these days, of course. These are the fastest cars we've had in a long, long time, and it's right here in qualifying where they're at their absolute peak. Let's get started.
Fantastic. You've got pole.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Mia.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Who doesn't love the Belgian Grand Prix? It's the race, of course, that gave maiden pole positions to the Jordan and Force India teams, with Rubens Barrichello and Giancarlo Fisichella respectively. Jordan, of course, would then go on to better that here in 1998 with their first ever victory. And you can guarantee that something special will always happen at Spa-Francorchamps. But what that something is today is anybody's guess. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track is a great one for fans of pure speed. The average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles an hour. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Let's talk about Mir. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Mir lines up on pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Butler, Russell, Max Verstappen and Leclerc, Perez, Raikkonen, Vettel and Pierre Gasly, Weber, Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo and Bottas, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Alexander Albon and Antonio Giovinazzi. Grosjean and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, La Source is always pretty tight, but we've got a clear run. Remember the runoff if you need it. Start. You'll be on the mediums. Somewhere on the ICE, be aware that we will start to see a loss of power. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Got that confirmed? To the car behind is 10.5 seconds. Max is currently in P5. The gap is 11.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 53.0. Engine is looking a little worn. Power output will be less than optimal. Some information on Verstappen. They have some kind of mechanical problem. We want to pit this lap, so push now. Box now, please. Box this lap. Release. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track. Sergio is in the pits. Hamilton's out in front. Max is currently in 6th place, P6. The difference is 9.5 seconds. They're on fresh softs. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:58.2. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Are you alright? Let me know you're all right. Okay, clear. Okay, we can take you this lap. Gap to teammate behind is 23.1 seconds. There's 4 laps of fuel remaining. Recommend you box for a new one. Complete, go now. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. To cut corners, the stewards will give you a penalty. to mix 2. We've been awarded a time penalty. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining. Fantastic! You've won the Grand Prix.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Mia increases their championship lead. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Nico Hülkenberg did an excellent job out on the track today. He played aggressively and knew exactly when to capitalise on openings throughout the race.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari continued to extend the gap at the top of the table. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. How did you feel when you saw your old rival from F2 have to withdraw from today's race? That was a good race for Lucas. Are you pleased to see him doing well? Things look close between you and your rival for a bit. Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash? Appreciate your time.
Fantastic podium. Well done. Keep pushing like this for the rest of the season.
It's race day here in Italy once again. Monza, home to so many records. The smallest winning margin, for example. Do you remember in 1971, Peter Gethin beat Ronnie Peterson to the line by 1/100th of a second. There were 40 overtakes for the lead alone in 1965, and Kimi Räikkönen clocked a record top speed of 230 miles per hour here, just over a decade ago. So there's a lot to live up to then for all of our drivers today. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Let's talk about Mir. No grid penalties, no mitigating circumstances, just a poor qualifying performance and a very disappointing start position for them today.
It's not a nice feeling, I promise you. They've got a quick car underneath them, but they've got onto the grid today and they need a pair of binoculars to see the start lights. They'll be desperate for a good start to make up for some of that deficit.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. A fantastic effort from Pierre Gasly yesterday puts him on pole, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Albon, Verstappen, Kevin Magnussen and Butler, Perez, Sainz, Leclerc and Kimi Räikkönen, Hamilton, Vettel, Valtteri Bottas and Ricciardo, Giovinazzi, Weber, Romain Grosjean and Mia Hülkenberg. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, this is the team's home race. We're all relying on you to impress. That's a decent start. Good job. Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available. Somewhere on the ICE, be aware that we will start to see a loss of power. Green flag? We're racing again. What happened? Let me know you're okay. Take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage. Strategy is available on the MFT. Confirmed. Showing small signs of wear, power output will be down. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums. Fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. You need to slow down before hitting the corners. We don't want to get a penalty. push now. We're boxing this lap. The gap behind us is 2.0 seconds. Box this lap. Go, go, go. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Nice move. Green flag. Right, some information on Ricardo. They're retiring from the race. Sergio is in for his stop. Yellow flag. Your front wing is damaged. Expect a lot of under There's 4 laps of fuel remaining. Gap to the car in front is 6.6 seconds. Engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon. Only got 2 laps of fuel left. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining. This is your final lap of the race. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up. Absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant result. Well done.
So, another excellent win from Ferrari. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Mir increases their championship lead. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Mir. They pushed and pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was just a pleasure to watch.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari continued to extend the gap at the top.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You were cutting your way through the field during the race. You had a few bumps and scrapes today. Who would you say is at fault? Would you say that your rival is still on your level? You left some bodywork out there on the track. Were you struggling for grip? Well, thanks anyway.
Great work this weekend. It was fantastic to see you up on that podium.
Welcome along again to the Marina Bay Circuit. The atmosphere is thick, not just with humidity, but with tension as well, as we get ready for qualifying here at the Singapore Grand Prix. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction. And over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong. And that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
Nice job.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
As the sun sets over the South China Sea, the sport that never sleeps is alert and raring to go. Welcome, under the bright lights of the Marina Bay Circuit, to another Singapore Grand Prix. It's a very long, very physical lap, this one, and really there's not much in the way of margin for error. So we have a bit of an endurance race for you tonight. The Marina Bay Street Circuit then has 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right, taking us a total of 3.1 miles around the landmarks of downtown Singapore. An average lap speed around here, just 107 miles per hour. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Mir. They've got a really good lead in the championship going into this weekend, so it feels to me that they've got one hand on the trophy.
Certainly there are worse positions to be in, but it's vital they don't let complacency creep in. As soon as you let yourself think it's over before it actually is, that's where everything can and often will go wrong.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Weber, Mir, Lewis Hamilton and Butler, Gasly, Ricciardo, Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen, Leclerc, Bottas, George Russell and Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Sainz, Alexander Albon and Lance Stroll, Grosjean and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
After your podium last race, we're seeing major wing damage. Box, box, box. A new strategy is available on the MFD. That move was illegal. Return the position. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Are you all right? Engine off, engine off. Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Nice start. Okay, you're in the top 10. Engine is looking a little worn. Power output will be less than optimal. Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the mediums. The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Somewhere on the ICE, be aware that we will start to see a loss of power. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Copy. coming in this lap. Remember to pit this lap. Data is looking positive so far. We think there's plenty of life left in these for the moment. Go now. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Sergio is in the pits. They're in second. The time last lap was a 1 minute 45.9. Just put in a new fastest lap. Caution, caution. Okay, clear. Reaching a danger point with the wear on the MGU-H. Overheating the engine will exacerbate the issue, so keep the temps under control. Check your MFD for a new strategy. That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Green flag. Some information on Butler. They are out of the race. Okay, the gap behind is 6.8 seconds. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. Turbocharger is on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum. laps of fuel remaining. This is your final lap of the race. The car behind is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
Great effort there from Ferrari to take the victory today. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Mia increases their championship lead. Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Well, I certainly didn't have any complaints with Kevin Magnussen's performance today. Incredible driving.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. There was quite a lot of contact today, wasn't there? You had a bit of contact today. Who was at fault there? You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some... Great! Well, that's everything.
Just wanted to say congrats on the podium. It's thoroughly deserved. We were sweating those last few laps on the pit wall, but you brought it home.
Welcome F1 fans, where qualifying will be starting in the next few minutes as the teams prepare to get out on track at the Sochi Autodrome here in Russia. It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Mia.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. What was the secret of your qualifying pace? It's looking like a winner has emerged in the championship. Is it in the bag? Great. Well, that's everything.
Well done. Very solid result. You're looking good for the race.
Good afternoon from Sochi as we prepare to get underway for the Russian Grand Prix. The championship battle has some time to go yet, but still expect no quarter to be given here on this circuit that made its debut in 2014 and has already seen some classic racing. It's full throttle for around 56% of the lap here at the Sochi Autodrome, a 3.6-mile run around the site of the 2014 Winter Olympics. 12 right turns and 6 left turns give us a total count of 18, with passing opportunities available into turns 1 and 13. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Mia lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Weber, Butler, Valtteri Bottas, and Hamilton, Raikkonen, Russell, Perez, and Sebastian Vettel, Albon, Gasly, Carlos Sainz, and Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Charles Leclerc, and Roman Grosjean. Stroll and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
The boss wants another podium. That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright. You've taken some minor damage. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Okay, back to the pits. You need a new front wing. Box now. Let me know you're okay. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Exit now. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Are you alright? Engine off, engine off. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Okay, that was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Okay, clear. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Copy that. Release. Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled. reaching a danger point with the wear on the MGU-H. Overheating the engine will exacerbate the issue, so keep the temps under control. Reached a worrying level of wear on the internal combustion engine. Let's try and keep the revs down. Early upshifts, later downshifts. Our gap behind is 20.2 seconds. The gap to the car ahead is 49.3 seconds. Engine wear is looking significant now. Performance will be affected. Car in front is 33.4 seconds. Okay, gap ahead is 14.1 seconds. Distance between yourself and the car behind. There is a fault to the DRS. You won't be able to open the rear wing. We're working on a fix. Stay out. Sergio is in for his stop. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. Our gap to the car in front is 3.6 seconds. It should be a few laps at least before we start feeling too many tyre issues. They seem in good condition for the time being. The car ahead is coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead, now running medium tyres. The car behind has boxed for the mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre. turbocharger is on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum. Laps of fuel remaining. Nice move. Good job. So we've been looking at the damage, and we think you should be okay to continue. It'll cost us a little bit of time, but we're nearly at the end of the race. This is your final lap of the race.
Brilliant stuff from Red Bull today. What a superb victory. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. they were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs. And that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy and to stay out of trouble.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. So let's review the updated driver standings. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Well, often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Nico Hülkenberg's clean driving throughout the event.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari continued to extend the gap at the top of the table. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend.
That's very disappointing. I know you can do better than that. Take stock of what went wrong so you can get a better result next time. They aren't coming round to that proposal. Let's try something else. All right, the terms have been agreed. All that's left is to sign the paperwork. You'll be on this new deal from the next race weekend.
Welcome to Japan and the impressive Suzuka track for today's qualifying session, where we should be underway shortly. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction. And over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong. And that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
Good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
With qualifying finished, it's time.
Right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
We're live today from the Mie Prefecture of Japan as we look forward to the Japanese Grand Prix. The 2015 race here was one of only 5 Grand Prix in history to feature no retirements at all. Although with the highly competitive field we have today, I don't expect we'll be repeating that stat anytime soon. We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at a wet and windy Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with Sector 1 likely to prove especially difficult in these conditions. We should see overtaking into turns 1 and 16 today, and maybe a few Kobayashi-style dives into the hairpin as well. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Mia lines up on pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Butler, Perez, George Russell and Hamilton, Weber, Vettel, Ricciardo and Kevin Magnussen, Gasly, Albon, Valtteri Bottas and Raikkonen, Leclerc, Stroll, Nico Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz. Giovinazzi and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid, and with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Your target today is second place. Start phase. Now let's build on it. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. the internal combustion engine. Let's try and keep the revs down. Early upshifts, later downshifts. Max is currently P2. The difference is 4.2 seconds. They're on fresh inters. The time last lap was a 1:47.8. Looks like the weather is going to dry up in about 5 minutes. Inters look like the best tyre for now. We're leading our teammate by 5.6 seconds. Tyre situation is an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got right now. Looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly. Okay, we're hitting the rated limits on the MGU-H. The power unit is going to be more prone to overheating. This rain should be stopping anytime soon. The dry line will come in quickly, so don't waste any time getting back up to speed. Inters seem like the fastest tyre for now. Is down. There's a significant amount of wear on the engine now. Out a second a lap on the car behind. After these tyres now, we want to finish the race on this compound. Radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Inters look like the best tyre for now. Gap to the car behind is 10.4 seconds. was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. laps of fuel remaining. The gap behind us is 14.0 seconds. No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Inters seem like the fastest tyre for now. Behind has started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Looks like some of those puddles are clearing. We're still on the right tyre for the time being, but we're not a million miles away from slick conditions. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Turbocharger is on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum. lap of fuel remaining. This is your final lap of the race. Gap to teammate behind is 23.0 seconds. Okay, the gap behind is 18.9 seconds. Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserved that race win.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. So, let's review the drivers' standings. Mia increases their championship lead. Some amazing talents out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Roman Grosjean's my driver of the day. I don't think I've ever seen such a strong performance from him.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. So then, Ferrari have now moved out of sight and out of reach. It's another triumph for the Italian team as they claim the World Constructors' Championship. It was also a strong Grand Prix from Haas F1 this weekend. Fantastic work from the American team to move themselves further up the table. I'm equal parts...
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. How are you feeling after that win? Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than... How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today? That was a close finish. How are things between the two of you? Great. Well, that's everything.
Excellent result today. Finishes like that will look good on your contract reviews.